Meet the Jetsons in a crossover that no one asked for. Dun-dun-dun-dun. That was supposed to be the sound of the cars, you know, when they're flying through the... I'm doing my best, okay? So today we have the latest, and quite possibly the last, in the inexplicable WWE animated crossovers with the Jetsons and the WWE Robo-Wrestlemania. That is a long title. So the plot of this movie is that the Big Show gets frozen on his way to a title match. Centuries later, he gets found by George Jetson and thawed out. Then he finds out that the WWE superstars are now robots. So he shows up to beat them all up and take the title belt, but then he gets power hungry and takes over the world, and because everything in the Jetsons' future is done by robots and nobody does any real work, nobody can stop him. So the Jetsons go back to modern times to bring back WWE superstars so they can stop his reign of terror. So the superstars we get in this movie are Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Ooh, 2/3 of the Shield. Nice. It's a shame we couldn't get Dean Ambrose in there as well, but of the former Shield members, he's the least family friendly. There's also Alicia Fox, the Usos, Vince McMahon and Michael Cole, of course, and Sheamus. And you know what? Between this and the second Scooby-Doo movie, I want Sheamus to do more voice work because he is hilarious. I should also mention that Dolph Ziggler and Stardust are also in this movie, but they play robots in the future WWE, which is strange because when the Big Show gets to the WWE in the future, like I said before, it's run by robots now, and each of the robots is a counterpart to one of the other superstars that are in this one, with the exception of Dolph Ziggler and Stardust. So there's a robot version and there's a human version, but for some reason Dolph Ziggler and Stardust are only robots. So I don't know why they didn't also have human counterparts. It's made even weirder because there are references to other WWE superstars in this movie. I just don't get why they bothered getting Dolph Ziggler and Stardust if they're not going to play themselves and they're only going to play robots. They really didn't add much to the story. Although I did like the nods to the other superstars, because that's not something they've done in any of the other cartoons. So I was a little apprehensive about this movie. I even made a joke about it when I reviewed Surf's Up 2, but to be honest, it was surprisingly okay. It was a lot longer, and it was a little more ambitious than the crossover with the Flintstones, and it actually had wrestling, unlike Surf's Up 2. And you know what? There were actually a few funny moments in this movie. One moment in particular was an interaction between Elroy and Judy, and I won't say what it is, but it was probably the funniest line in the whole movie. Rosie was great in this movie as well. She was voiced by Tress MacNeille, and she was really funny. And you know what? I'm not a huge Jetsons fan, but it was really nice to see somebody do something with them for once. Because I don't think the Jetsons have been in anything since the movie. Ugh. This movie kind of also had some commentary on perhaps reliance on technology, because like I said before, in the Jetsons, all they do is push buttons and then robots do all the work, and then, you know, someone like Big Show shows up and he can easily take over. And at the end of the movie, they had to actually learn to fight back and do their own work, and that was actually kind of an interesting twist. I think the worst thing I could say about this movie is it had a lot of padding. Like, they would try and do bits, like when the Big Show showed up in the future, he was trying to get accustomed to everything. And it was funny, but it went on for maybe a little bit too long. And the same thing with the Jetsons, because when they came back to our time, they had to get accustomed to not using automated walkways and things like that. And again, it was funny, but perhaps they spent a little too much time on it. But none of it really ruined the movie. It was fine. It was serviceable. So if I was to rank the 5 WWE animated crossover movies, I'd say this one kind of falls right in the middle. It's not as good as the Scooby-Doo movies, but it's certainly a lot better than the Flintstones and the Surf's Up movie, particularly the Surf's Up movie. So I'd say if you're curious, give it a shot. So I've actually known about this movie for some time now. I think I heard about it about the time the Flintstones movie came out, so I was pretty much expecting this. But I haven't heard anything about any other crossovers for the WWE in the foreseeable future. I know they're doing a lot of their own animated stuff on the WWE network, like they have Camp WWE, and they have this like story time show where one of the superstars tells some stories about their life or being on the road and things like that, and they animate it, and it's actually pretty funny. But as far as I know, this is the last crossover they're doing. That could change. Probably might change in the time that I'm filming this to when I get it to the computer. But we'll see. If they're doing another crossover in the future, then I guess I'll be here to review it. But anyway, that's all I got for the Jetsons and the WWE Robo-Wrestlemania. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think of it. My name is Rob, and have a wonderful day.